Hi everyone, welcome to Humanities. Are you ready to get going on your learning? Well, let's do it. Okay, so scholars, you've been doing such a great job learning new vocabulary words and answering questions about stories that you hear. Well, today I have a new word for you. Are you ready for it? I have it in my hand, okay? It's a short word, but it's a tricky word, okay? We're going to be working with this word all through kindergarten and in first grade and in second grade and in third grade and in fourth grade. So you're going to hear this word a lot. Are you ready for it? Here it comes, and that word is fiction. That word is fiction. One last time. That word is fiction. Okay? Now, what are we doing with this word? Are you ready to find that out? Okay, where do we go to find things out? Our learning targets. And you only have one today, but it's a tricky one. I can explain what fiction is, okay? So we're going to explain what fiction is. So fiction is a story. Fiction is a story. Fiction is a story, okay? And when we're thinking about fiction, we're going to think about it, because this is humanities, we're going to be thinking about it as far as books, okay? So in kindergarten, you're going to study two types of books. You're going to do one today, and then the second type way later, way later. First type of book that you're going to study is fiction books, okay? So fiction books tells us a story, okay? Fiction books tell us a story, okay? Now, the way you find out if a book is fiction or not is to think about these two things. And guess what? You've already done these two things. You just don't know it yet. Okay, let's go to my anchor chart and I'll show you. Okay. So fiction books have two things. They have characters, which are the people, the animals, or things that are inside the story. And they have setting. Okay, so if you're reading a book and it has characters and setting, it is fiction. Okay, so if you read a book, or someone reads a book to you and you hear characters and setting, or you read about characters and setting, it is fiction. It is fiction. It is fiction. So I want you to think about it. Ooh, characters, setting, it is fiction. Okay? So I have two books that I've read to you before, and we're going to try to figure out if they're fiction books. Okay? Now remember, fiction books have characters and setting, okay? So if you're reading a book that has characters and setting, it is fiction. So let's look at the first book that I've read to you, Corduroy. So now I'm thinking, is this book fiction? Well, let me think about what fiction books have. Fiction books have characters and setting. So, remember the story of Corduroy? Is there characters in this story? Okay, who are the characters in this story? Yes, Corduroy is a character in the story. Who else? Who else? Lisa and her mom. Yes, they're both characters in the story. Any other characters in the story? Do you remember? Let's see, any other characters? Oh, yes, the night watchman. He's also a character. So, okay, so this book has characters. Does it have setting? Where are the characters? Yes, in the toy store or Lisa's house. So, this book has characters. Corduroy, the night watchman, Lisa, Lisa's mom. It has setting, the toy store or Lisa's house. So, if this book has characters and setting, it is fiction, okay? Because it has characters and setting, okay? Let's look at another book you've heard me read to you. Who is this? Sylvester and the Magic Pebble. Now let's think, can this book be fiction? Well, let's do our check. Does it have characters and setting? If it has characters and setting, then we know it's going to be fiction. Who's some of the characters in the story? Well, does this book have characters? Yes, who's a character? Sylvester. Yes, Sylvester is a character in the story. Okay, who else is a character in the story? Yes, the lion's a character in the story. Who else? Sylvester's mom and dad. So yeah, we found some characters in this story. There's a setting in this story. Yes, the setting is outside on Strawberry Hill. That's the setting of the story. So this book, Sylvester and the Magic Pebble, has characters and setting. That means it's dun 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 fiction. So this book is fiction too because it has characters and setting. So Corduroy and Sylvester and the Magic Pebble, they're both fiction books because they have characters and setting. So that's the most important part of this whole thing. If a book has characters and setting, it is fiction, okay? And that's all the work we're going to do today because fiction is a pretty tricky word. So I wanted you to keep that in your brain. That if a book has characters and setting, it is fiction. That's all you're doing today. Tomorrow it gets trickier, so rest that brain. I will talk to you tomorrow. Bye.